Good Monday morning, everyone. Here we are at week number 8, the final week of our term. So let's see what we've got going on. Last week, we learned some about ecosystems, and really most of your final projects were on ecosystems in some way or another. So we did learn some about ecosystems. You had a discussion board about eutrophication of Lake Erie. This week, we're also going to continue on in that vein, and we're going to study some population ecology. If you're in the lab, you're also doing this. So even in the same chapter, chapter 45. So take a look at your OpenStax textbook, skim through chapter 45 on population ecology. And so population ecology is a really popular part of ecology because you're studying members of the same species that live together in a certain place and time. And so we do a lot of that as ecologists. I mean, can you imagine every Department of Natural Resources does this literally all the time? They study endangered species, they study threatened species, they study species that are hunted and fished so that limits can be put on how many individuals you can take of a species. Whether you hunt or fish. Or they may say, okay, this feral hog problem is getting out of hand in South Carolina. You may kill them any time of year, any time of day, even at night, because they're an invasive species that is decimating our ecosystems. So they study things like that. So you are too. Read the Module 8 overview and watch the video, and watch it a couple of times because the video on the human population is absolutely amazing. It's really an animation to show you how the human population has changed over time since we first showed up on this planet until now. It is estimated in 2023, which is next year, that the human population will reach 8 billion. Now, I want to put this in perspective for you, okay? During my lifetime, and I'm 65 right now. I know I don't look it, but anyway, in my lifetime, we have gone from 3 billion people in 1960 to 4 billion 1974, 5 billion 1987, 6 billion 1999, 7 billion 2011, and 8 billion is estimated for next year. The simulation that you're going to watch is estimating that by 2050 we will have reached 9 billion people on this planet. And so you're going to answer some questions in your journal entry about this situation. Is exponential growth sustainable? You're going to take a look at that, find out what exponential growth is, and of course the answer is going to be no, because you just can't keep multiplying. And this is true for any species on the planet, from bacteria to plants of any type, to different animals, human population, a fungus, whatever. Nothing, no species can sustain exponential growth forever, because you're going to run out of food, you're going to run out of space, etc. So you're going to look into that. Look at the meaning of the map and what those dots mean, because that is important. And you're going to discuss what are the consequences of the human population reaching 9 billion people in 2050. Do you think that this is sustainable? That's a good question for you, because you're going to be dealing with the consequences of this. What happens when the human population gets too high in an area, just wherever on the planet? Well, diseases break out. Have we heard of any kind of pandemic in the last couple of years that has washed across the entire globe? Wait a minute, maybe COVID? Yeah. Swept through our populations. What is the death mark at this point in the United States? It's over 1 million people have died from COVID in the last 2 years. So diseases pop up when the population gets bigger and bigger. And that's true for any population of any species. What other things can happen with human beings? We fight. We fight more. We go to war more. Why? We're fighting over land and different resources like availability of fossil fuels. Doesn't that also tell us that we should get away from using fossil fuels? And we've talked about climate change through this whole term, so you know what it does to the climate also. So you're going to be discussing this in your journal entry, and there's a lot of good discussion that can be had about the human population and where it is headed and what we're going to have to do to fix it or deal with it, one or the other, because it is just coming. Final thoughts and tasks. Turn in anything that you need to turn in by Sunday night, June 26th at 11:59 p.m. If you wait until midnight, the course is closed. You cannot put anything else in. I cannot put anything else in. The only thing I can do is grade. So please, if you need to turn in anything else, turn it in by Sunday, June 26th at 11:59 p.m. That's your last chance. If you have completed 70% of your coursework and you find that you just can't finish up one or two last assignments, we can ask for an incomplete from the registrar. The registrar has to approve this and approves it. He or she, I don't know which, approves this based on your logic and your reasoning behind needing the extension. And you only have a month in order to complete this work. Don't think that you have the whole next year to finish your work, because you don't. You only have a couple of weeks extra. So we can do that if that is needed. But like I said, 70% of your work has to already be done. And my final thoughts for the course are, I'm asking you please to fill out your course evaluations, because this helps me grow as an instructor. Let me know if there's anything that I could have done differently so that I can help my students of the future. It also gives my team lead and my dean an idea of how I'm doing in the course and what kind of instructor I am. So please, please do this for me. I would appreciate it very much. And my very last thoughts, I wish you the best in your careers and as you finish up your education at SNHU. And please keep in touch with me. I love to hear from my former students. I give references if you need a reference. I am honest, so be aware of that. I am honest about your work, and I go back and look at it. And then it'll jog my memory. Oh, yeah, because usually, you know, it's a couple of terms ahead when you ask for a reference. But do keep in touch with me, and I wish you the very, very best. So I hope this week you have a great week. Let me know if you need anything.